Thanks for listening to the AZ12 podcast, proudly presented by Little Caesars. Code 1099 bundle, classic pepperoni or cheese pizza, free crazy combo with 2-liter purchase. Check it out. Code LCFREECC, free crazy combo with pizza purchase. All right, guys, we need to have some real times. Okay, now we got a lot to get to in this show. All right, we're going to talk Arizona basketball. We are going to talk about the comments. Oh, we got Amort in the chat. Hello, Amort. William Brad Alice, Kobe L. Thiel. By the way, Kobe L. Thiel enjoys sending pictures of William Brad Alice to me when he sees him up there coaching. William Brad Alice, I have eyes on you at all times. Well, I don't know. I don't know about Brad's internet connection again. Okay, so, all right, let's get to this then. Let's talk a little bit about Arizona basketball. Arizona beat the snot out of NAU there. It was it was awesome. Kobe, this is a team I tweeted out. There aren't many flaws on this team. There just aren't.
No, I mean, I came away from that game feeling like, well, there's very little you can complain about. I mean, I think Yvonne and Braden could have shot a little bit better, but other than that, they played just about as well as you could have asked them to.
Right, exactly. Now, Vegas Falcon, a $20 super snap. Talk about the holy moly Batman, Dwayne Aristode with the threes. Brad, let's talk about it. Dwayne Aristode with the threes, that is something that is if Arizona's getting 3-point performances from him, if he's spacing like that, this is going to be it's already an awesome team. This is going to be a really problematic team.
Yeah, because that's not something you count on from him. You count on him being athletic and long and lengthy. But if he can shoot like that, Arizona could be very dangerous at times.
All right. Now, looking at this, though, let's just go position by position almost because – and the thing about it, too, that I think is really, really interesting is and I know people are worried about they're worried right now about Dwayne, or excuse me, whatever. We'll talk about Burries and Crevis and all that. But if I were to ask you guys right now, what is the weakness on this team? And I tweeted this out before, and I don't really know necessarily what it is. One guy said, well, I wish they could go 9 deep as opposed to 8. No teams go 9 deep. And, I say that respectfully. You've got wings, you got guards, you got bigs. I just don't know exactly what that weakness is.
The weakness might really be if a team gets them slowed down and they are struggling to shoot a little bit, like a night like tonight where Koa shot 3 for 10. He wasn't his normal self. That's the first time we've seen him struggle. Say you have a better opponent come in here, they kind of bog things down to the half court. Braden hasn't been what you've expected yet. Koa's having a rough night. Some of these better teams might be able to take advantage of that to where only a handful of guys have it going.
Yeah, Brad, what do you think?
Consistency at the wing, and that includes Burries. Yvonne has had 2 kind of iffy games in a row. Aristode looked great tonight, but I think, overall that small forward / 2 guard position still worries me a little.
Yeah, that worries me a little bit as well. And I think but again, every team, and I got to keep coming at this, is that every team basically has some kind of, there's no perfect team in college basketball. And I think a lot of times people look at it and they're like, oh, well, Arizona's going to get exposed by this. There's a guy on Twitter that was telling me that Arizona was going to give up, that would lose 9 of 10 times to certain teams in the country. No, there's no team in the country that Arizona would lose 9 out of 10 times to. I think we get these glasses on, or these goggles, whatever you want to call them, where people are like, oh, there's nothing, there's perfect teams out there. There's not perfect teams out there. I just don't know really how else to put it. What I am excited about at that small forward position, though, guys, is that it seems that you've got 3 talented guys, and they've each had their moments. ADO's obviously had his moments. Yvonne in that first game had its moments, and then you see Dwayne Aristode today really break out. You got 3 very capable guys.
No, they're very capable, and I feel like they all bring different aspects of their games to the table. We're 80.
Kobe, you just muted yourself, I think.
Oh, that's my bad. I think I've spammed the space bar. But ADO's that shooter type. Yvonne's that scrappy defender that can kind of do a little bit of everything. And Aristode's kind of that athletic freak. I mean, he was a great shooter tonight, so if they can get that, that'd be awesome. But he's just a freak athlete. So they do have 3 very different threes that they can plug in kind of play the hot hand.
Yeah, Brad, I mean, you look at it, we talked about it before. I know when everybody wants Carter Bryant back, but at the same time, that's what happens in college basketball. Guys leave if they're lottery picks. There's a lot of teams that wish they had certain guys back. It is what it is. And Carter, again, as much as we like him, averaged 6-4 last year. You combine these guys, and I think, and Kobe Althiel, I think, puts it pretty well. He says Yvonne does a lot of things that don't show up in the box score. That's kind of what you're looking at, And again, when you look at all the positions, the small forward was one that I think, a lot of people were concerned about, but it's super, definitely talented enough. I'll put it to you like that.
That's why I say it's consistency at the wing, not the wing, the consistency, because you don't know who's going to step up. You don't know how they're going to step up.
Right. Now, okay, so let's talk a little bit then about Jaden Bradley. I'm going to put it to you like this when it comes to Jaden Bradley. There might be a better point guard in the country, maybe. I would not want to. I will not doubt, or I would not. There's not a point guard in the country though that I would take over him. I think he does everything that is conducive to winning, and I think what you're going to find, and he made a couple threes this game. I think what you're going to find as well is that he's going to be a pretty decent shooter, and I've said this from day one. His shot doesn't look broke. A lot of guys whose shots are broke are like, we've seen guys that it's like, the Mustafa Shakur where you're like shooting it over here or whatever, and it doesn't make, it just doesn't look good. Jaden Bradley and, our guy Jeremiah Dibble is in here, and, Jeremiah Dibble for a long time preferred Kylan over Kylan over Jaden Bradley. But Jeremiah Dibble is a wise man, and he has come clean. But he did say Nelson is a great story, but our biggest concern should be backup point guard. If JB gets in foul trouble, that's where we should worry. That's where Braden Burries is going to play, though. That's what they sold him on, that, you'll play a lot off the ball, but you'll also play on the ball as well. That's what it's going to be, but I would very much like to see Evan Nelson at least show that he's capable of a few minutes here or there. Yes, very good point, Mr. Jeremiah Dibble.
I'd have to agree. I mean, at this point in time, we were talking about weaknesses. If we just haven't seen a lot of Evan, so I'm not entirely sure what Evan is at this moment, and Braden hasn't really played on the ball that much for me to have that much confidence. So, I mean, my concern would just be what if Jaden gets in foul trouble, or what if Koa gets in foul trouble, because they haven't really shown what they can do with those two aren't playing well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, Brad, what do you think? Brad? Okay, I think Brad. All right, I think Brad's having some tech issues. Okay, let's just go with Kobe. Cody, can you just Brad right there? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about it then. When I look at Jaden Bradley, when I look at Braden Burries, when I look at those are two guys that are obviously talented enough. I think with Braden Burries, the thing that you haven't seen him on the ball, but a lot of people are concerned about Braden Burries at this point. I'm not really concerned because he's got a long body of work to be able to show of what he's, to be able to show what he's been able to do. But yeah, he obviously hasn't been lights out so far. How about that? I think that's probably fair to say.
I feel like at times he's been out of rhythm, where he just kind of feels like he's been a ball stopper, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like there have been times he hasn't really played within the offense. The ball just kind of stops once it gets in his hands, or he's been forcing shots because he can tell that he's not in rhythm. So he's been kind of forcing some things, and that's never good. So I just feel like he needs to play more within the system and just kind of let the shots come to him. They're going to get a lot of possessions. There's going to be a lot of shots. So he doesn't need to force some of these shots up.
Yeah, well, everybody, we love Brad. I just, he was certainly having a slow connection, so just kind of is what it is. Okay, so now Jeremiah Dibble, another one. I'm not worried about BB. He is too good. I said in Vegas it's going to be midway through the Big 12 season where he breaks out. I agree with that. Because here's the thing when I look at Burries. The thing that I like about Burries is you can tell too that he's gonna get there. He can get to where he needs to on the court. And he's gonna get the shots. He's just got to be able to make them. And I think that's the key. But he's under control. He's good And I watch him and I'm thinking to myself that, you can understand why he's going to be that. He's going to be good. I don't know that he's necessarily going to be somebody that's going to be a lottery pick, because I don't think he projects to the NBA in a super high level, but I don't really care about that for the cases of Arizona basketball. So I'm not too worried about him. I think the great Jeremiah Dibble put it very well there, Mr. L. Thiel.
Yeah, I know he's 20 years old, but he is still a freshman, and he's always been playing. He was playing older than his group previously, so this is probably the first time he's played against some of these guys that are as physically gifted as he is, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's an adjustment period, and he just needs to get back into playing within the rhythm of the offense, because there are times that he's kind of just
Yeah.
doing Braden Burries things, and he's not really doing what he's supposed to be doing.
All right, my guy Tony is in here. Tony is the man from Bridge Tech Communication. Hey, let's get that read in there, Cody. Or while Tony's in here, I want to get Bridge Tech Communications in here. All right, let's get a couple reads in here, and then we're going to get to Tony's take. Yeah, Tony's takes. All right, yeah. Here's the deal with Bridge Tech Communications. Now, you own a gym or a health wellness spa, anything like that out there, and you're like, you know what? This isn't getting out to the right people. I want this to get out to the right people. That's what Bridge Tech Communications is here for. 750% average ROI. Now, you might see some people like Dennis Walsh. They're looking at opening up a gym, but they're having to drink out of the barf bucket that they have, because there's nothing going on there. They want to be able to push this forward and be able to get more going on in life from their gym. Get with Bridge Tech Communications. Walsh, if you're going to open up a gym, you need to be going through Tony. Besides being that, Tony is the man. They can help you market your gym, health, or wellness spa, and they promote 100-plus health entities across multiple states. All right, stop drinking out of the barf bucket and get with Bridge Tech Communications. Go to the real gym and get where they can push that gym out there for you. 750% average ROI. Yeah. What else we got? Talk to me. All right, now, Kobe L. Thiel, Foster Plumbing. Is your front pipe working, Kobe?
I can assure you that it functions.
All right, yeah, well, exactly. But if your front pipe isn't working, then you got to be able to get in there and you got to say, all right, this isn't working. Foster Plumbing. That's where it's at. Residential and commercial HVAC, sewer lining, coat, water heaters, all of that. And it's just not 24/7. And it's 24/7. That's the thing about it. It's 24/7. Because again, you just don't have things that are clogged in the middle of the night. None of that happens. It happens always at like 1:30 in the morning. Danny Foster will be there. Well, I don't know that he'll be there, but he'll be there. 10% off when you mention the AZ12 podcast. Boom. Check it out. All right, one more. Bear with me. All right, Baggins. We got Dennis Walsh in here. We haven't had real times lately. The Baggins special. The Dennis Walsh special. Use code AZ12 for 15% off. Have you lost to, have you used the Dennis Walsh special at Baggins, Kobe L. Thiel?
I have not used the Dennis Walsh special, but I've used code AZ12 multiple times.
Yeah, okay. I will say that I think our friend Ben White probably has ordered the Dennis Walsh special. I will not do that, though. But I will order with AZ12. Every sandwich comes with a chocolate chip cookie. All food and made in-house daily, locally owned and operated for specials and deals. Check it out. Get the bag. Okay, now let's get back to our buddy. Let's get back to our guy, Tony. Tony says... here to say Aristotle is a lottery pick and likely will get drafted above Koa. His interview after the game was impressive. Here's what, Tony's the man. Here's what I think about with Aristotle that you can just tell. And this isn't a put down towards Koa, because Koa is awesome. I think Koa, I've already said that I think Koa is the best power forward in school history. So I will put it at that. But when I don't know what kind of pro he's going to be. He's going to be a good pro. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be a high level pro. But I kind of agree with Tony there that when you look at Dwayne Aristotle, when you look how he moves, when you look how he when you look how he shoots now, when you look at all of that, I see a guy that can be absolutely as good as he wants to be.
I think at the end of the day, Dwayne might not be the best player on this team at the moment, but he could have the best. He probably will have the best MNBA career. I'll correct myself there.
Thank you.
But he could have the best MNBA career out of any of the guys on this team, just because he has an upside and level of athleticism that I don't think anyone else really has that fits the modern MNBA.
Yeah, I don't see that either. Now Meisner coming in here, the great Meisner. All right, yeah, the great Meisner. Now Meisner says $10 super snap. Very much appreciate that. Big Mo, 12.7 boards, 4 blocks, and an assist in 18 minutes. Take the glove, Dennis Walsh. This is not what Dennis Walsh wanted to see during this game, nor David Rosen. They were hoping they didn't see it, and there were 2 dunks from our guy Mount Crevis as well. People were saying it couldn't be done. It was done.
I'm not willing to take a victory lap when I think the opposing center was probably like 6'7".
Oh,
or
no. We
6'8".
don't need. Hey, no. Do not delineate that. Do not differentiate that. 2 dunks, though. Yes, 2 dunks.
I believe it was 2 dunks, David.
Yes.
But
Get right.
I thought that he looked a lot more composed on the offensive side of the ball than he has previously. Shot better, obviously, but I just don't think people realize the work he does sealing and screening around the lane, because a lot of the time that we have open layups in the lane, like, oh, how's Jaden that open? How's Braden just getting wide open in the hoop? It's like, well, because he sealed a guy off when he's just wide open there. He does a lot of work off the ball that doesn't really show up in the box score. So he definitely impacts the game more than people think he does.
Yeah, he does, and there's stats out there, and I don't really like the advanced analytics stuff. I think they're mainly nerds, but at the same time, the defense when he's out there is light years better than light years better when you've got Mount Crevis out there. So I'm just
he's 7'2", so even if he's not blocking shots, it's still in the back of your head and affecting the way you're shooting. Like, I'll tell you, I don't want to drive into a lane with a guy who's 7'2". He's just going to stick his hands up. He's going to affect more shots than not. And he moves better than people want to give him credit for in the defensive end as well. He does get to his spots pretty well around the rim.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be the thing that I can tell that's basically going to be pretty much every single day. So I will, but either way, Crevis handed out like 8 gloves to Dennis Walsh and David Rosen, and we very much appreciate that. Okay, Koa. You know what's interesting about Koa is with Koa Pete, I see a guy that, it's funny. He made a 3. That's for all you spacers out there. It's weird, though, because even when he doesn't have a good statistical game, it doesn't feel like he had a bad game. Like, it's just weird. He never really looks out of place. He doesn't really look like he's hurrying or anything like that. It just doesn't feel like that.
Well, I mean, he had 10 and 7. Yeah, he took 10 shots to get there, but 10 and 7 for a bad game is like, all right, I'll take that. I mean, it is what it is. If that's your struggle, okay, that's cool.
Right.
But now, he missed a lot of shots that he usually makes, but I'm not concerned at all. I mean, he's shown that he's one of the best players in the country, so I'm not fretting or anything. It's just like, all right, well, get it out of your system now, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny. Amort, the great Amort says, where did Amort say? He doesn't play like a freshman at all. That is, I mean, there's really there, that's pretty much the way that it is right there. Okay, so now looking at it then moving forward a little bit, because NAU sucks. I mean, I'm not going to really break any news right here. NAU sucks.
Utah Tech or whatever, they'd probably kill NAU.
NAU's awful, man. I don't want to ever see them again.
That team's bad.
Yeah. That's abhorrent basketball. I don't want to ever see that again. So they're out of the way. Get lost. Move. Go hang out with the other weirdos. So weird. I don't know if they're weird, but okay. Looking ahead then, UCLA, Mick Cronin. Very, very excited about this game. I am excited for multiple reasons. First of all, I think Arizona's better than UCLA. And second of all, I very much look forward to Mick Cronin getting very, very mad after the game, hopefully. And he's going to blame the officials. He's going to blame his team. He's not going to blame himself. He's going to blame a lot of different people that have nothing to do with him. But I'm like I said, this is another game, and we talked about it before the season. You got to stack dubs where you can stack dubs. It sounds like coach speak. So you've already got Florida, and if you can get UCLA, then you really you got some margin for error as well.
I really like how they match up against UCLA, but frankly, that's because I don't really like how UCLA is constructed.
Right.
Outside of Donovan Dent and Bilodeau, I'm not really concerned about anyone on their team. And even a guy like Bilodeau, yeah, he's a good scorer, but he's not a great defender. And he's like a 6'9" center, essentially. So it's like, all right, like they don't really have anything outside of Donovan Dent that's super concerning. But we have Jaden Bradley, who's a fantastic defender. So it's not super intimidating there.
Yeah, I disagree with Mr. Tyler Warden. I don't want to see Cronin get tossed. I want to see Cronin. I want to see Cronin in that entire game. By the way, everybody should go to Copal to watch the game. Kobe Thiel, you're going to come. I know it's like 40 minutes away, but if you come to just one this entire year, I need you to come, please.
Copal, I'll definitely put it in my plans. I don't. It's
okay,
what? It's
good.
what? Like an 8 o'clock game?
Yeah, it's an 8 o'clock game. You can be there. I'll buy you a drink, Kobe Thiel. Okay, so
I think I'm off work that day, anyways. But
yeah.
I'll
Oh,
look.
and it's funny. Angel Antonio Chavez, great name, says Iron Mike and Kobe must watch TV. That's what we like about it. Okay, so I love how they match up with UCLA. And, here's the other thing, too, and Matthew Bothwell very much appreciate you. Here's what I love about when I look at this team, and I've watched a little bit of college basketball this year, but at the same time, I don't look at any team and say, man, Arizona can't beat them. There were definitely teams last year that I'm like, oh, crap, we can't beat them. Like Duke. I looked at Duke. I'm sorry. I know there was a guy in the chat the other day that was just saying something like, Cooper Flag was a one-man team. Man, they had like 4 other guys drafted, but whatever. But there were teams last year you looked at and you're like, that's just not a good matchup. Houston was another team that just wasn't a good matchup. Houston didn't even play well against us, and they beat us twice. One at home, and obviously. So I don't see that team this year. I think that we have. I think we have more of a. I think we have just such more of a margin for error, and I think everybody. You know what's weird? And I love Caleb L. Love. I don't know. Whatever. I love Caleb Love. Everybody says, my Caleb, everybody knows this. And I thought he was great. I thought he was perfect for what Arizona needed. I believe, and I have no inside information on this, people, but I do believe Arizona gets Cam Williams. Just a guess. I'll leave it at what it is. But I'm going to say this, though. I think everybody without Caleb kind of falls into a I think everybody kind of falls into their own routine in that Jaden can be more aggressive. Obviously, Braden Burries is figuring this one out. We know that this allows ADO to be more aggressive, which I know everybody in this chat wants. It allows Krivas more looks. Everybody can just be a little bit more aggressive now. And again, that's not a slight towards Caleb because Caleb had to do that, but everybody feels like they're kind of in their own little spot at this point.
Yeah, it just kind of lets everyone play within the system a little bit more. This system, everyone's going to get their shots up. At times, Caleb was a little bit of a ball stopper, but he kind of had to be just based on roster composition at times. But I feel like if Jaden and Koa are playing their games, Arizona can beat just about any team on any given night.
Right.
Those two are about as good of a duo as you're going to find, or at least we've seen so far. But I just feel like this team has a lot of talent that Tommy just hasn't had previously. They're a lot deeper. They have a lot more MNBA talent. This team feels like a team where I'm not going to be going into a game like, yeah, we have no chance to win this game.
I'm not going to go. Then there were those times last year.
Duke, Houston, yeah.
Duke, there were some of those games. Even though we beat Iowa State, it didn't feel like we were better than Iowa State. So there were certain games. But we also
I didn't come away from that game thinking we were better. It was kind of like, we were a full court shot away from losing.
But we don't even have any but we also don't have dead weight on this team. And I think that's the other thing that's exciting about this. There is no dead weight. We're not going to name any names on this show because we don't single anybody out. But it doesn't feel like anybody on this team is just like when you go in there, it doesn't feel it's like, all right, we got to get through 5 minutes with this guy on the court.
Skier is on the show today. We can talk about his guy Conrad. He's not here today.
Yeah, okay. But, like when we had guys that were starting last year and you're like, when can we get him out of the game? So there really is none of that. Need Down says, Mike, you picked Arizona to win like every game last year. Almost. No, that's crap. That's not true. That is not true.
We were all pretty down on the team after December.
No, I definitely didn't pick them to beat Iowa.
To lose some games in January.
I definitely didn't pick them to beat Iowa State in Lubbock. In Ames. But I pretty much had Arizona going like 35-1. But yes, it is. I will back the A. So that is what it is. All right, for people asking about Cam Williams, this isn't like something with Braden Burries or Koa Pete where I knew that they were going here and I could kind of hint. I just have a feeling. And again, I have no inside information. I know everybody's picking Duke. I kind of think he ends up here. Again, no inside information. Don't take this to the bank. It is what it is. Okay, so but the other thing too, Kobe, is you obviously want to avoid that you don't want to have to play a really, really good team in the Sweet 16. It's just that's just the way it is. But let's talk about Dwayne Aristode. I believe in Bruce was just being Tommy, I guess, just beat up on Bruce because Bruce just this is sad. This makes me sad. Bruce says does Dwayne shoot like that in practice? Does Dwayne make shots in practice? And then Tommy says, no, Bruce, he's never made a shot since he's been here in practice. Poor Bruce.
I love Bruce. I met Bruce multiple times. Fantastic human, but there are times he asks questions where it's just
I know, but
come on, what are we asking
I know,
here?
Bruce.
But it's in a good place. It's not like other media folks asking questions where it's like that's just making stuff up.
Yeah. Bruce comes from Bruce is a good sport about all of it as well. But man, Aristode though. But here's the thing, though. With Aris, Bruce does get pawed a lot. Bruce catches a lot of gloves. But
no, it's because he can take it. It's because Tommy knows that, Bruce is my guy, so I can
Tommy actually likes Bruce. I know that he doesn't always show, and I know that he's been annoyed by Bruce. But I've never seen real quick. It'll be under a minute, promise. I've never seen Bruce go to somebody, or Bruce was telling me, he's like, where's Tommy at? We were at a tournament. And I said, oh, he's over there, but I don't think he really wants to be bothered right now. And Bruce says, oh, I won't bother him for a second. Or he's like, I'll just bother him for under a minute. So then he goes up to him, and Tommy's like, Bruce, I'm here working. And he's like, yeah, but just what about this? What about this? And then he follows him to his hotel, and then he's following him back. I'm like, what, Bruce? Are you helping him undress? So it's just kind of that's just a Bruce thing. So is what it is. So
if Bruce is the one most annoying thing in your life, I mean, you have a pretty good life. Bruce is a great guy.
Yeah. All right. Now, Rudy Martinez says Arizona is probably the best team in the Big 12. Houston, Tech, and BYU are not deep like Arizona. I agree with that. Again, I'm going to get beat up by some folks in here. I think Arizona and BYU are the two best teams in the conference. I think Tech took I
don't like Tech. I just don't like their team. They shoot too many jump shots. And honestly, I know your guy, Hans Christian Andersen, was supposed to be some all-star. But I mean, he's good.
Tonight.
He had 11 assists, but he shot 4 for 13, I believe.
I thought you said 4 of 12 just earlier.
Or 4 of 12 I told you guys?
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, all right, well, it's the first time I've seen y'all play. Kylan Boswell clamped him up. I'll put it that way.
Kylan Boswell, he gave 12 assists, man. Yeah. All right. Here's where I'm at with Houston, though, Big 12, Bobby, and I think I'm right. I don't believe this is the same Houston team, and here's where I'm going with this. And look at Amort. Amort's all over this chat right now, flexing that Sal Point muscle. I think Sal Point, maybe not, or Sabino or something. Here's where I'm at, though, with Houston. Houston lost a lot that I don't think that it was able to replace. And the one guy, let's talk about Juwan Roberts for a second. That he was basically a ninth-year senior, and he was everything. They put in Cenac, and I get it, Big 12, Bobby, makes sense. They put in Cenac, and Cenac plays very much like a freshman. He's not nearly as good as Juwan Roberts, so maybe he's a 5-star player or a top 10 prospect, but he's not nearly as good. You lost Cryer as well. He's off crying over in Europe or something, but I think you lost a lot that you couldn't really replace. They didn't really replace. And again, Sampson's the best. I believe Sampson's the second best coach in college basketball outside of Danny Hurley. So I totally respect him. But I think they lost quite a bit. I really do. Rudy Martinez agrees with me. Armart.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, Cenac is I know he's a 5-star. And he's going to have a lot better of an MNBA career than Juwan Johnson did. But at the end of the day, I mean, Cenac's averaging 7 and 11, including a game that he played against Towson, Towson, where he scored 2 points and he shot 1 of 7.
Yeah,
so it's like, well, it's not great. So I mean, I know he's a freshman; he'll probably get better throughout the season, but they lost quite a bit, and they're kind of banking on multiple guys to take big steps forward. And I'm not sure if they can be as good as they need them to be.
Yeah, and again, I don't know who you have replacing LJ Cryer as well. Sharp can't dribble, so that and Uzon's awesome. Obviously, Uzon's
He's probably the best point guard in the conference. I'll just say that.
yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I think you're actually right on that. And I think Arizona will be favored by about 2 to 3. I think Amor hits it right. We were just asked by the great Trey Barron. That's another great name. He says, "What do you think the spread is going to be on Friday?" And I agree. I think it's going to be about 2 or 3. CB Wildcat. Houston is huge physically, but the offense, again, is challenged. They thrive on second chance points. Right. But the thing about it, though, is that last year with Jawan Roberts and guys like that, they were able to really kind of take advantage of that. I don't know that they can do that with Cenac this year. And Tugler, or whatever, he's awesome defensively, but he can't score. So we'll see. We'll see. But I like Arizona over Houston.
Well, even then with Tugler, he's pretty much a non-factor in offense. I think he averaged like 5 points a game last year. And the way he plays defense, he's so physical. There are games in which he's essentially a non-factor because he's just fouled out in 15 minutes. So
right.
It's kind of hard to bank on him doing much when there are games you know that he's only going to play 15 minutes.
Hey, it's pretty funny. I just asked Tyler Warden. I said, "Hey, you want to co-host on Thursday?" And he says, "I need to let me check. I need to flush out my schedule." And I'm saying, "Hey, have Foster Plumbing help you with that one. Get it? That's funny. That's funny.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, let's get to a couple reads here, and then I want to get back to Braden Burries, and I want to get to the bench here for a second. All right, RJ's Frozen Cactus. Now we got multiple pilots in this show right here, and I think the thing that's exciting about it is when you see pilot on pilot violence. Kobe, do you believe that a jet can back up?
Yeah, I mean, I flew a couple times through the past couple days, and I feel like the plane definitely went in reverse at least once or twice, and at least on the flight line or whatever.
All right, Dennis Walsh says that a jet cannot back up. And Harry Lexon here, also my guy, says that he's full of poo, that it can back up. So we have two pilots here, two certified pilots, and they're fighting each other, and it's awesome. It's like watching two hot chicks fight. But here's the deal, though. RJ's Frozen Cactus, red hot sports, and ice cold beer, yummy, yummy in my tummy. Now here's the thing, though. They got a huge parking lot, as we've already talked about, and 100+ craft beers, $2 deals, pizza, wings, tacos, burgers, and more. No bad seats in the house. We're going to be having another one here as well. Go start yourself, get some beer, get some drinks, get some really, really good food. Get some really, really good food here. Oh, wow. Lan Allen is now siding with Dennis Walsh. Lan, the man with the master plan. Hey, let's get Lan's read up next. I want to talk about it. Student pilot here, and Dennis is right. Lan's a student pilot? Wow. Okay, cool. I didn't know that. All right. Lan basically owns his own city now with as much, he's got a lot of property. It's awesome. All right. Now, speaking of which, Lan, the freaking man with the master plan. The championship package was delivered, inserted, and it was so painless. I kid you not, and Lan, the man with the master plan, can attest to this. I fell asleep multiple times during it. Now, you might say, Mike, you're an idiot. Correct. But that's how good it was. The championship package. And to give you an idea about the championship package and about the only thing that I've had all day is gas because of I have a previous infection, so I had to take some antibiotics. So I've been gassy all day. But I really haven't had much pain at all. So that's why, because Lan is the man. Lan, we very much appreciate it. Championship package, baby. All right, 1997. Get that now, though, because it's going to go up to 2026. And that is where, like I said, you can get it now, save yourself, $29? Yeah, $29, because that thing is going up. Those prices are going way up. This is not Lan's sister, though. Do not believe for a second that this is Lan's sister, but we will treat this woman with respect. All right, Lan, very much appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, now I will endorse Lan, the man with the master plan. I will not endorse Andre Veras. Just not going to do it.
No, neither of us are going to do it. We're not going to do it.
No, I mean, dude, you can throw gum in my eye. that'd be terrible. But I will not endorse Andre Veras, but I will highly recommend him, and I will say, listen, are you looking for a retirement saving for your college funds? Let's talk through with get your old 401k and learn more about your new retirement plan. Give Andre a call at 520-325-3456 and reference the AC12 podcast. Big 12 Bobby, that's very, very funny. Yeah, check him out for a complimentary meeting. Now, Mr. Tyler Warden says, I will not treat her with respect. You will treat her with respect, or you won't be our coach at AZ12 Prep. Okay, now what else we got? All right, okay, now let's get back to this a little bit here. Up front, then, Tobe Awaka. I think at this stage in the game when it comes to Tobe is definitely the most consistent, but I know in the chat that people don't want to hear all of this. I don't really care. Tobe and Mo, I think, actually, even though you can't really play them together, they both play off of each other, I think, fairly well because they've got a lot going for them. And again, a sixth man of the year, I think that's a very, very good goal there, Amort.
No, I like that, but I think I've said it before in this show, but I feel like there are going to be games that are Mo games, and there are going to be games that are Tobe games. There are just certain matchups in which Tobe struggles, like last year with
against
H-Dick.
lengthy girth.
Against like H-Dick, he was never going to be able to.
Dude, that was bad against H-Dick.
Yeah, he was giving up like 5 or 6 inches, and then
5 or 6 inches against H-Dick.
It was good. It was good difference there, and then they weren't doubling or anything. They're just like, stick your hands up, Tobe. So there are definitely going to be games where he struggles, and same thing with Mo. There are going to be games where he's going against like a 6'9" center that's just flying around the perimeter that he's going to struggle with. So they balance each other well, and I feel like it's nice that you have 2 quality players down low like that.
All right, now I'm going to say a couple of things here. Yeah, we'll talk a little football. We are a football school, obviously, but Eugene Edgerson vibes. He's better than Gene, though, because Gene couldn't do anything. Gene tried hard. He rolled on the floor and threw his bike knee pads into the rafters, but Gene wasn't very good.
Well, there are times that I think every game Tobe does something
Tobe's
that I'm
much
like,
better.
I didn't know that you could do that. Where it's like the other day where he hit that step back, like fade away from like the free throw line. I was like, oh, I didn't know you really had that in your game. So he's a lot better he's a lot more skilled than people think, but he just his size. There are times that he's just going to struggle.
All right, now how much would Stevenson? Colby Davis says, how much would Stevenson have contributed on this team? I assume you mean Emmanuel Stevens. But is he even playing at UNLV?
That's a name I actually forgot he even existed, frankly.
And by the way, La Jolla says Michael Wright is the best or second best power forward. I actually think he's third.
So
I
this year, he has played 11, 7. He's played 19 minutes in 5 games.
Yeah.
And he's averaging 1.3 points, 1.3 rebounds, but he's shooting 100% from the field.
All right. Well, that I think probably answers your question. So there's that. Dennis, I think that Michael Wright left here. By the way, 10-year anniversary of Michael Wright's passing. R.I.P. I know you don't know who that is, Kobe, but he was really, really good.
No, he's probably one of the most renowned power forwards we ever had here.
Yeah, so I mean, you read my tweet. I give you credit for it. Thank you. I'm going to say that I would put him in third. I think Koa is going to leave here as the best power forward. I would put Derek Williams as 2, and then I'd put Mike Wright as 3. But I do believe that Michael Wright was the best power forward when he left. Yes, Ben 1 was definitely a fan. Big 12 Bobby, if you know what I mean. Definitely a fan. Okay, so that's kind of I will just leave it at that. I would probably put Lowry at 4. Okay, Mike, you would take Koa over D-Will? Yeah, I think by the time it's done here, yes, I would. I think he's just better. Okay, so anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, they play off of each other well. Yes, Tobe's probably better than Mo. I'm not saying that, but you also when you go against when you're 6'6" and you go against bigger teams, sometimes you just got to have more of a you just got to have more of a presence out there. And at 7'3", regardless of what anybody thinks about Mo, there's going to be games where we need Mo because, again, you're not playing an H-Dick this year, Hunter Dickinson for the layman folks. But there's going to be games where you're just going to need a bigger, girthier body out there, period.
Yeah, there are going to be games where you're going to know early on, yeah, this isn't really the matchup for Mo, or this really isn't the matchup for Tobe. Tommy's going to have to figure that one out early and just play whoever the hot hand is.
Right.
But it is nice that they have two quality bigs because there are times in Tommy's tenure where he hasn't, like that second year where it was Umar and then it was freshman Henry where he essentially didn't play once conference play came around. So
Yeah.
it's
So
nice that he has two bigs that he can kind of see, okay, who's playing well today and who isn't. That way I can kind of figure out what I'm going to be doing.
I would agree with that. Somebody just DM'd me and they said, Mike, why do you like BYU so much? I like their fans. I make no apologies for it. I think their fans are awesome.
No, their fans are real passionate. They're good
And they're
people.
cool. And
They're
not
pretty
jerks.
defensive of their team, but other than that, they're very, very nice people.
Yeah, Brian Williams is definitely more of a center. Sorry. But was Michael Wright owning the Lopez twins or the Collins twins? Oh, gosh. I'm not going there. That was mean. Okay. But, yeah, you're going to need all of them. Now, here's the other quest. Here's the other thing. When it comes to Arizona going 8 deep, I put this out there, and a couple people have said I wish that there was more depth to it as well. How many teams out there, and I could be wrong, I can't think of any of Lute's best teams where they played Wright was a lefty, correct? I can't think of any of Lute's teams where Arizona went more than 8 deep. Most of them were 7 deep. I can't think of any Sean teams where they legitimately went 8 deep. Honestly, I can't think of any teams really off the top of my head that have gone more than 8 deep. I don't think that that's a concern. Now, you could say that you wish that you had a backup point guard, a better backup point guard option than Burry. I get that, but I don't. Oh gosh. Well, Mr. Dell, this is so funny. I don't know. I don't think that. I think it's. I don't think there's much to worry about.
No, I mean, if it were up to me, Arizona would be like 15 deep. We'd have 15 all-conference caliber players. That's just not how it works.
Right.
I mean, even we were talking about BYU earlier. They really only go 7 deep.
Right.
And we're talking about them potentially being one of the top 10 teams in the country. So there are very few teams in the NIL era that can go 8, 9, 10 deep. It's just not feasible with decisions having to be made based on money, playing time, and all that.
Yeah, and that's where that's where I'm going to keep coming back to. I just don't know that it's necessarily feasible to be able to have all of that. So, and here's the other.
Everyone wants to play. Everyone wants to be a starter. Most of the time, these kids that you mostly talk about being bench players are like, I'll go play in the Midwest level or the mid-major level. Then in a year, I'll transfer to the Power 5
I'll give
level.
you a story. In Big 12 Bobby, he actually beat me to it. Like Lute would say every year that basically, we're going to go 10 deep this year. And then he would try it for like 2 games and then say, scrap it. And Dennis Lattimore is the name you're thinking about of Big 12 Bobby. So he would try it and he would put some guys out there and they just clearly weren't good enough. And then, you basically just kind of went back from there. What I like about this depth, though, is that it is tangible depth. It is good depth. It is deep depth. It is, you watch them and you're like, all right. And like I said earlier, like if ADO comes in, I know there's a lot of people that don't like ADO. They're idiots. But when ADO comes in, you're not having a massive drop-off from whoever he was taken in for. When Tobey comes in, you're not having a massive drop-off. When Dwayne comes in, it's the same thing. You can continue to push a lead. You can continue to get better. And that's where, every single year it seems like we had somebody, 2 people, where every year where you're like, oh, gosh, all right, well, let's get through the next 8 minutes. You don't really have that this time. Kobe Alfield.
No, you really don't. Everyone that plays in the rotation serves a purpose, and they have a role where, like I said, all the wings, they do different things. They're all going to play every game because they all do different things. Both the bigs serve purposes. Every player they have on their team contributes. And there really isn't anyone where you're sitting here like, holy crap, we have to play this guy for like 5 or 6 minutes this half. And we just got to hope and pray that we don't give up a big run in that time. Like, I hate to say it, like Trey Townsend last year, there were times like, holy crap, we have to play him for the next 5 or 6 minutes. We just got to get through it.
All right, now, let's see. Abort says, when will Walsh be back on? He's coming on Thursday. Okay, now, Big 12 Bobby, recruiting tactic, making the deep bench think they will be part of the rotation so we can recruit over if needed. That's exactly what it is. And that's why every coach, and I wish Tommy would lie more, but I realize how bad that sounds, but every coach always says, we're going to go 10 deep. We're going to go this, that, or the other. Tommy could have easily lied to Henry and said, we don't run a center. We run 2 power forwards. and that's
That's
not
so ridiculous to me that they told him that, because you could have watched one game from North Carolina and told you, yeah, that's a
right.
lie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just is what it is. Now, Kyle Wiki says, any chance Burries comes back to run the point next year? No, I'd be very surprised by that. But who knows? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I'd be very surprised. But you also got to remember this though too. Some guys just aren't point guards. I know that Braden Burries was told by a lot of people that he was a point guard. He's not a point guard, and there's nothing wrong with that. You watch him, and he's not a point guard, and I don't see where the disconnect is there, Mr. Elfield.
Can you explain to me why it seems like every combo and every most shooting guards talk about wanting to be point guards? What's the allure of being a point guard?
Um, because everybody wants to be here's the deal. I can answer that. Everybody wants to be a tall point guard, so they think they're like, oh, if I'm 6'4", I'm a normal size shooting guard, but therefore if I'm 6'4", I am a big sized point guard. Here's the deal: you either are a point guard or you aren't a point guard. It is really that simple. It's kind of like a quarterback. You either have that intrinsic flair about you or you don't. I've never looked at Braden Burries even in high school and said that is a point guard. That is, and again, here's the other thing about it too. The coolest thing in all of basketball, and I'll say this a million times, is the hardest thing and the coolest thing in basketball is to score the basket, whatever. And if you would, and if I were to tell you that, hey man, it's gonna be you're gonna really have a hard time scoring the or whatever. I can find guys that can be role players. I can find guys that can be defenders. I can find guys that can make open shots. It's very difficult to find guys that have an inherent ability to be able to score the basketball. If you have that ability, take it. That's what I loved about Caleb Love. Caleb Love knew exactly what he was put on the basketball court for, and he did it. There's other, and so again, it's kind of like the same thing when somebody says they're a combo forward. If you say you're a combo forward, you're likely a power forward because you're not a small forward. So it's just that. By the way, Arizona did break Florida. We'll get to that in a little bit. But that's where it is.
No, that makes sense. Just because I've always sat here, yeah, I mean, I feel like scoring is the sexiest thing you can do in basketball. Like being able to drop 30, that sounds cooler than me. Like, oh yeah, I had 10 points and 10 assists or whatever. But
right.
I've just always kind of found it funny how it seems like every guard, wherever recruiting talks about wanting to be a point guard, I'm like, I don't know, like being a shooting guard and dropping 20 something, that sounds pretty sexy to me.
Yeah, no, trust me. I would want to, give me the ball. You know what Michael Jordan never did? He said, hey, man, I want to be a point guard for the rest of my career. You know what Kobe Bryant didn't do? Hey, dude, I want to be a point guard the rest of my career.
Well, especially in modern basketball where guys like that take the ball up the court, too, where it's just like.
Did you say bottom basketball?
I think I said modern, but it might have came out wrong.
What's bottom basketball? I was going to say no.
It sounds like something Ben 1 would be.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't want to hear anything about that.
But no, I feel like in modern basketball, multiple guys always bring the ball up the court anyways. I mean, Braden brings the ball up the court a couple times. I mean, I've seen Koa bring it up the court. That's just how basketball works in 2025. So I've never really got that, but
yeah, I don't really get that one either. Now, if Arizona beats UCLA, Arizona's at 5 right now. I think that if Arizona's at 5, or I guess you did say modern, I apologize. I'll get my mind out of the gutter. But Arizona, you're at number 5 right now in the country. If you beat UCLA, I think you have to you start looking at that resume where you're like, all right, man, we're not that far away from being ranked 1. I will say this. The line in the sand moment, though, for me on just how good this team is coming up here, and we will talk about that. And Mancat. Yes, they're going to redshirt James. But let's get a couple reads in here. We've got to pay some bills. What do you got? All right, Copal, everybody. We need to get to Copal. Everybody, come here, please. I beg of you. AZ12 Watch Party, Friday, November 14th, 7:45, Arizona versus UCLA. Now, again, bear down with great food, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I will be getting there. Everybody, you should come there. Dennis Walsh, Amort, you guys should come. You bring the great Jerry Reyes along with you. So, again, Matthew Bothwell will be there. Other people will be there. Hey, you can see my parents, and if you don't like me, you can blame them and yell at them about why I'm the way that I am. Tucson's tastiest margaritas. I will buy Kobe El Thiele margarita. Yeah, we'll call it Marga El Rita. don't know.
I wouldn't complain about that. Seems like
Yeah.
a great place. I might have to check it out.
Copalvo, check it out. All right, now.
Oh, Marcus is going to be there. Oh, I'm definitely going now.
Yes. Let's see here. Yeah, Marcus says he's going to be there. But
Joseph too. Look at that.
Joseph said 10,000 different things over the years, so hopefully they show. Okay, now Comfort X HVAC. Yeah, the Illinois fan base is blowing up my Twitter, and all I keep saying is, yeah, we're ranked in the top 5. Get out of here. Okay, now, but I'm not going to say, Kobe, let's talk about your AC. Now, I'm going to say this. It's a cooler time of the year, so we don't have to worry about you as much with the AC. But
I might have to look to getting that fixed before it does get hot though.
Where would you go though?
Comfort X, no other place.
Comfort X HVAC. And here's the other thing. You can get 10% off when you mention, I would literally want to have an AC installed into my house so that I could get Comfort X HVAC. Get entered into a Christmas raffle for a $100 gift card as well. Boom. Check it out. Mini splits, ductwork, all of that stuff. Free estimates. Check it out. Comfort X HVAC. Comfort XL HVAC. Yeah. Welcome to the Rock. How was that?
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, let's hear you say it. Come on, Kobe, let's do it. That was weak. But either way,
best I can do.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. 2 convenient locations: Tucson plus Green Valley, East of Benson, Sierra Vista. Yeah, that static definitely blew out the championship package. But west of Marana, south of Nogales, north of Oracle, serving residents and contractors. And again, they're not just in Green Valley. You're going to get a lot of people like Rich Carrillo that probably just think they're in Green Valley. Stay away from those people. They are not. You do not want anything to do with those people. And yes, Dennis Walsh, you can do that. Yeah, no problem here. Okay, so serving residents and contractors. Again, our guy Mike is the man. Oh, Udifo's in here. Yeah, Udifo's the man. Yeah, Idaho. All right, 2 convenient locations. Check it out. All right, here's my line in the sand moment, my barrier in the boot. I'm going to say this. Arizona, barrier in the boot.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a saying, but I can't think of the saying off the top of my head either.
Yeah, I'm going to say barrier in the boot. Here's my barrier in the boot line here. Arizona-UConn is going to be the toughest game of the season for Arizona. And I don't even think that it's going to be close. The price for a very good Casey Kennedy. UConn to me is one of the top 3 to 5 teams in the country. It's in stores. You're going against the best coach in the country. It is like I said, that's going to be the one. If Arizona can be competitive and win that game, then we're like really talking, we're really cooking with grease. But that to me is going to be the game. That is that's not going against Bobby Hurley. That's going against Danny Hurley. Totally different.
No, I'd have to agree, but I feel like they need to beat UCLA this Friday. Mm-hmm. Because then you're sitting here like, all right, I have 2 big wins. Because last year they had the opposite, where they were 6-6,
right?
And it was like, well, we have no margin for error going into conference, so they need to start racking up some of these wins. That way, they can go into conference play feeling good. That way, they don't have to play one of these Duke type teams in the Sweet 16. They have a little bit of a better resume.
Yeah, and if you win that game, then at that point you have to be the number 1 team in the country. There's no way that you couldn't be. And I know that people say they don't care about being the number 1 team. I do like being the number 1 team in the country. Period. I like it.
No, I think they actually have a really good path to being the number 1 team in the country because, frankly, I like their chances against UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
I like their chances against Auburn, and I like their chances against San Diego State. If you do that and you lose to Alabama and UConn, you're 11-2 in non-con, and you lost to 2 top 10 teams in essentially road games. Those are your 2 losses. And then you look at the way they start conference play. They have a really easy first 6 or 7 games.
I think it's like the first 9 games, isn't it?
So they could realistically be 18-2,
right?
17-3 after the first 20 or so games, and you're sitting here and you have wins against Florida, UCLA, Auburn, it's like, all right, well, you're probably going to be top 3 at that point. So they have a pretty good chance of getting to number 1.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, all right. Give me the Big 12 then. That's where you have to really talk about it. Let's talk a little bit then about the last. What was the last of the Big 12 schedule? Bring me up the last, because the last of it's like brutal. It's like a mafia kneecap hit. It's terrible.
Yeah, they have a really tough. I want to say it's April or I'm sorry, February. I feel like, well, I mean, if they're playing in April, it's gonna be really tough, like in the Final Four. But
right.
I feel like they have a really tough February where it's just like the whole month is just a gauntlet. That first month is really easy. So you want me to just read out all of conference?
Yeah. What is that?
So they start conference play with Utah on the road, and then State at home, then TCU on the road, ASU at home, UCF on the road, Cincinnati at home, West Virginia at home. Those are those first 7 games where I'm like, those are all pretty easy games.
Yeah. And then after that,
then you go into the gauntlet where it's BYU on the road on a Monday, on Big Monday. And then you got Arizona State on the road. That's not really a hard game. And then you've got Oklahoma State, at home. That's not too difficult either. Oh, what did it do? And then you go to Kansas on the road, Texas Tech at home, BYU at home, Houston on the road, at Baylor, versus Kansas, versus Iowa State, and then you play Colorado on the road.
Yeah, so this is where you want to stack wins, because remember last year we were talking about how Arizona basically lost every single good out of conference team, and then you had to make up for it in conference. You want to be able to win in conference this year, and yes, Oklahoma State is actually good. I did not see that one coming, but they are actually good. So you want to be able to just get as many of these, because you're going to have some bumps in the road. The Big 12 is totally different when it comes to that. You know that you've got like I said, you're probably going to have a losing streak somewhere in there. That's just the way that it goes when you're playing road games. And you're probably going to lose a couple road games that you don't expect to be losing. I'd
have to agree. I mean, last year they started 6-6, and when you have a stretch in which you're playing Kansas on the road, Tech at home, BYU at home, at Houston, right, and then Baylor on the road right after that, you can't go into those games saying like, all right, we need to win 4 of the next 5.
All right,
you need to have some wins built up to go into that.
All right, now this is really, really good. Big 12 Bobby says, good thing we aren't just a football school anymore. That is a very, very good way of putting it. It's also nice to be a basketball school as well. I will leave it at that. Now, let's talk a little bit of Cam Williams. I have no direct information on Cam Williams. I know that everybody wants to know. I'm going to say a couple things about Cam Williams, though, and we'll be talking about this a little bit more tomorrow on the show. Cam Williams, there's 2 different types of players in the 5-star kids. There's the ones that are now, and then there's the ones that are later on. Cam Williams is amazing. If Cam Williams is the number 1 pick in the draft in a year, I would not at all be surprised. He's that dude. But I'm also going to say this. He is a how do I put this? He is more of a project still than Koa is. Koa is
a good way to put it is he's going to be a really good player in college. He's not going to be a Koa where he's super dominant, but he's going to be a good player. But he's definitely going to have a better MNBA career than in college, if that makes sense.
Yes, he is. I think he's going to be like a 12-5 player. And
it's very good. That's very good.
Very good. But he's not going to be like Koa as a freshman, where you're probably going to be like 18-8, 19.
You're talking like potential All-American.
Yeah, he's not going to be that. But again, down the line in the MNBA, he is going to be a problem. He's also not Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant obviously was a one of a kind. His game is somewhat similar to Kevin Durant, but I'm also going to say though as well that he's just different. But anybody that's expecting him to come in and be Koa, no, he's going to be somewhere in an impact perspective. He's going to be somewhere between Koa and Carter. He's better than Carter. He's not as good as Koa. Somewhere in between there. Now, Rudy Martinez says, Mike, do you miss Kirk Kriisa? No. What's he doing this year anyways?
He's at Cincinnati. And
I know he's at Cincinnati, but yeah.
No, they had a big win. They beat Dayton today. And he actually had a good game from what I was reading.
All right, whatever. I don't want to. Oh, you were just setting me up to get me mad. I get it.
No, he what did he do tonight? He had 9 points. He shot 43% from three. That was all he took. He just went 3 for 8, which isn't bad at all. And
Right.
he had 8 assists. No, he had 9 assists. 9 assists.
Oh gosh, I don't yet. No
Nine and
thanks.
eight in 30 minutes. That's not bad.
Don't want him. He's going to go 1 for 12, but then when he makes that one, like Dennis Walsh says, he's going to start rocking the baby
He
or whatever that.
comes. Oh, they come into town.
Yeah.
Cincinnati comes. He gets to have his homecoming.
All right. Joseph Delgado says if Cam is slightly better than Carter, does he only get 26 minutes? That was that
think he's
was
gonna be
funny.
slightly better, but
Yeah.
it's
Now,
not a slightly better situation.
yeah, yeah, and that man was allergic to taking a shot inside the arc. He was also allergic to playing good in March. So yeah, no thanks, no thanks, man. I just love Jaden Bradley. I'm gonna keep coming back to this man. He first of all, the fact that he's really, the fact that he's really really good. Second of all, there's no drama with him. There's no crap. There's no, there's no man. I'm gonna go 2 of 19, but guess what? I'm gonna be doing the the 3 point arrow thing that you guys all do, where you're like shooting into the moon when you make that one. I don't want any of that stuff. I like somebody that's just very, very consistent. Jaden Bradley is the man. Period.
He has the maturity of a pro. I'm not concerned about him ever doing anything off the court. I'm not concerned about him being a locker room problem. He's a
Right.
total pro in that aspect, and he plays within the system. He's never going to be a guy who's like, yeah, it's my night tonight. Just take like 30 shots just because he's feeling like it. Like we've had guys like that before.
Right.
But he is a winning basketball player, and he's a very good player.
Right.
There are very few point guards in the country I'd take over Jaden Bradley.
Yeah, I don't need him. Like I said, I don't want my point guards to be doing what Kerr does, and I don't need them like doing like a 360 belly flop into like a frat pool like 3 hours before the game. None of that. The
It's a
guys
little
all bit.
frustrating. It's a little frustrating he doesn't get the praise he should from like national media types or even other fan bases. Like I know Skier was like, is Christian Anderson really like leagues better than Jaden Bradley? And all their fans were like, Jaden Bradley sucks in the comments. And it was like, well,
Oh,
all
by the
right.
way,
Like
that's a great point by Hi-Fi Dan. By the way, do you work at Hi-Fi, Dan? Man, I will say this: whenever I was, because I live like in the area. Those were some of the best lame fights that I've ever seen ever outside of Hi-Fi. It would be like five guys coming up and like trying to impress their like girl or something,
they
and they
just kind
go,
of like shove each other maybe and just
yeah,
kind of
they would
like
like shove each other,
stand at each other. Yeah.
and then they would say, "I'm not the one. I'm not the one." Well, you clearly are. I mean, putz. Now, let's see here. What did he say? Yes, but Hi-Fi Dan makes a very good point. He says, I need the announcers to stop calling him the Alabama transfer. That is so true. Why do they keep calling him the Alabama transfer? He's been here 3 years now.
The only time I'd be cool with that is if it's rather his like first year or it's a guy who played like 3 or 4 years at a school and he just goes somewhere for his last year. I
Right.
mean, Alabama as a program wouldn't claim Jaden Bradley as an Alabama product. So
Well, right.
at this point in time, we shouldn't be calling him an Alabama
And he's
transfer.
been here 3 years.
He's a Tommy Lloyd prospect.
Yeah. Oh, good time at. Oh, listen to this. Dennis Walsh says he's had good times with his Wi-Fi with Amor. Ooh, that sounds Ben one to me right there. What are you guys doing on your Wi-Fi? Not good. Not good. Yeah. All right. Now Caleb took UNC to the Final Four. Caleb played there also 3 years. Jaden Bradley played there 1 year and was a backup. Like,
Yeah, you know what? If North Carolina wants to claim Caleb too, that's more than fine. He played there for 3 years. That's fine.
yeah, exactly. Or at the Bama game. Yes, exactly.
You
So,
don't see Alabama fans talking about how they claim Jaden Bradley. That's just not a thing.
what do we think Dennis is saying when he says that he's had a lot of great times on the Wi-Fi with Amort?
I don't know if I really
That
want to
sounds
think
awful.
about
Can
it.
somebody
That's a little,
screenshot that? I want to add. Plus, somebody please screenshot that remark.
a
I
little
want to have.
concerning.
That's a
I
little
don't.
concerning. I've never said to another man, "Man, I had a great time on the Wi-Fi with you." That's not good. Okay. Yeah, sounds like a Rich Carrillo thing. Okay. Now, Udafo says there are very few point guards in the country I'd take over Jaden Bradley, an elite ball knower. Yes, Udafo is an elite ball knower. I'm going to say this. Right off the top of your head right now, who would you take over Jaden Bradley? I would probably take Uzon.
In conference, Uzon for sure.
I would probably take Uzon.
I don't. I know some people will tell you Anderson. I'm not.
No, I'm not taking
too-
Hans Christian Andersen. No
because
way.
he's played last year. He was pretty hit or miss off the bench, and this year, the one time he's played a real team, he went 4
Yeah,
for 12.
no. And I like
But
I like
and
him.
he's not a good defender either. He's 6'0". He's not a good
Right.
defender.
The problem,
So-
though, with Uzon is that Uzon, as much as I love JB, Uzon killed JB last year. it felt like.
Uzon does everything Bradley does, but better, if that makes sense. He's
Right.
like Bradley's a fantastic defender, but Uzon's just a better defender.
And you know what? I'm going to say another thing here. And tell me I'm wrong, Udafo. You're smarter than me. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll take Bradley over Donovan Dent. Period.
Big 12 Bobby just had comment of the year right there.
Yeah, that was great. I will take I'll take JB over that. Darren Peterson. Yeah, definitely Darren Peterson.
Yeah, that's one that slipped my mind, but definitely Darren Peterson.
But
Definitely
we're only
Uzon.
talking a couple guys.
Robert Wright.
Nah,
Man,
I'm not going to take
there are
Robert
games he's very good. There are games like I saw last year. Bradley took his lunch in Waco.
Yeah, I'm not taking. I'm not taking Robert Wright.
I think Peterson and Uzon are about it in the conference, and then nationally, I mean,
I'm legit
the guy from
asking who.
Purdue.
Oh,
what's his name
Smith.
again?
I guess. Fine, I'll take
Braden
Smith.
Smith. He's very good. He is very.
Yeah, he's
good.
white, but I'll take him. Fine. Yes.
We'll make an exception on that
yeah,
one. But,
yeah. But I think he's probably fourth.
There's got to be guys we're forgetting, but I mean,
Peterson's a
Yeah.
point guard. He plays point guard. Yeah, he's a point guard. It feels like I could be wrong, but I think those are the only three. Maybe I'll post that on the board, but I think he's one of the. I think if
here
I
we
had
go.
had
Here's
my,
a Sports Illustrated did a top 15
with
point
Sports
guards going into the
Illustrated,
year.
they check, recheck, and then check the facts again. Go ahead.
So they had Braden Smith at 1. Okay, that's fine. Darren Peterson at 2. Okay. Bennett Sturts at Iowa, number 3.
Now I'll take Jaden over him. He's really very
Donovan
very good,
Dent,
though, too.
UCLA.
No, I will take Jaden Bradley over Donovan Dent.
LeBaron Phelan.
Feline's really good, but I also haven't. Feline also hasn't. Feline is one of those guys that would is on there because of potential. I will take Jaden over him. I think
Mikal Brown at Louisville.
He's really, really good, but right now, I'll take Jaden. Udafo. The problem though is what Uzon did against
Pettiford
Arizona.
at Auburn.
I'll take Jaden. And see, at that point, then it's all like tomato, mandarin, mandarino. Same thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's another one. That's one of the Big 12. Taman Lipsey. I take Bradley
No way,
over Taman
dude.
Lipsey. Any day.
No way. I don't get that one at all. Taman Lipsey was first team all Big 12, and he averaged 10 and 3 last year. I don't get the Lipsey thing at all. They even had Lipsey as a first team all Big 12 guy over Koa El Pete. I don't get Lipsey to me is the one where I keep seeing him on these lists, and I don't get it.
No, he was like the third. He was like the third best guard on Iowa State last year.
Yeah,
that's even one of the best guards.
That's one to me that I don't understand at all. That one, yeah, I don't get that one. But no, Sturts is very good. But I'm still gonna take. I'm still taking. I'm laying down my seed that I put. Laying down my seed. It sounds terrible. I'm planting my flag that I'm putting him at 4. I'm putting him behind Braden Smith, Darren Peterson, and Uzon, and that's it. Yeah. I would say Jaden over Mikal Brown and Acuff, but it's hard. They're good with high upside. Agreed. They have more upside, but right now in this moment, yeah.
If I had to take one guy to go win a game tomorrow, I'm probably taking Jaden Bradley over either of those guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, high five, Dan. Says laying down a seat. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean laying down my seat. Now Jaden over. Where is it? There's also a huge benefit to a guy being in the system for 3 years. I would agree with that. What about Thompson? Who's Thompson?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I feel like it's probably somebody that's like right in our face, and someone snipped that clip. Oh no, that sounds terrible. I don't know who Thompson is. So, anyways, all right, let's get a couple more reads in here. Reads, baby, back the reads. laying down my seat on the reed. All right, yeah. Now, all right. The Tucson Family Food Project. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Look at that fajita right there, Mr. Kobe L. Thiel.
I do like me some fajitas.
All right, direct aid plus life skills development. Here's the great deal about it, though. They currently have 255 meal kits per week. 2026 goal: 1,000 meal kits per week. Donations will be made with AZ12. Donations made with AZ12 comment will be matched cumulative up to $10,000. We love Cheryl. Cheryl is awesome. The Family Food Project. Help this girl get more fajitas. I thought that was spaghetti for the longest time. It's fajitas. Help her out. What else? All right, 88 crime. Now, you might see somebody out there laying down their seed, and you're like, man, you're not allowed to be doing that right here. You call 88 crime, my friends. Or you see anything out there, you see a jet backing up into the driveway or something, and you're like, wait a second here. That jet is not allowed to be backing up because Dennis Walsh said that we cannot back that up. Back that jet up. Girl, you look good. You better back that jet up. All right, yeah. 88 crime. 882-7463. It's anonymous. You don't want to get your hands dirty. That's what you have Danny Foster for. Pima County Attorney's Office, get in there, save over 1,000, I was going to say 1,000, or save over 1,000. No, they've caught like over 1,000 perps, and you could be that as well. If you see people doing bad things, stealing copper, we know this ASU guy that goes around stealing catalytic converters. We do not want any of that. Call 88 crime, get in there. I can't wait to ask Dennis Walsh about the Jets and backing up. All right, now, not just a football school. We got to give Irish Mike a lot of credit on this one. It's just not a football school. Get these shirts right now. As we've talked about before, the baby boomer generation, everybody could talk about how, when they came back from World War II and they're like, man, I want to have kids. That's the same thing that happens when you purchase this shirt. It just is what it is. The birth rates are going to skyrocket after these shirts. Kobe L. Thiel, I could see you wanting to become a father the second you get that shirt.
Oh, it's going to be a sudden urge, a real sudden urge.
Sudden urge. I mean, yeah, get in line there, baby. All right, yeah. Udifo says, laying down my seeds on the reeds as an elite seed knower. Oh, this show's awesome. I very much like it. Okay, all right, now. All right, let's get back to some basketball, though. You guys are all getting me off target here. This team's damn good. This team is really, really good. There's not a lot of flaws to this team. Like I said, every single year it seemed like there was something outside of maybe that first year. The second year's team just wasn't that good. I don't know how. That was Tommy's best coaching job. I have no clue how that team got a 2 seed. The third year's team, you had basically one guy that could really make plays off the dribble. That was, By the way, Udifo, the great Udifo, by the way, has come around that bucket getters are more important than spacers, far more important. We love that because whenever anybody who is smarter than me agrees with me, I know that I am right. So, thank you, Udifo. But this team just doesn't have a lot of flaws. I mean, there's some, I'm sure. I'm sure Fry Rice is going to find something that their pick and roll defense and the under 8 timeout, is lacking, and that's something that we need to be really, really worried about. But, I don't really worry about any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen anything yet, but this is why playing the gauntlet that they are in non-conference, they're going to get to see multiple different types of teams and see how they're going to defend them. So we'll see. We might come out of here in a month or two like, yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. But it's good to know those problems now and not go into March like we did the one year against Houston, and it was kind of like, oh, we have some major problems.
Yeah, it's like, oh, crap, this isn't good. Yeah, we got a real problem here. Houston, we have a problem, literally. Do you know what that line is from? You don't know. You don't know.
I've heard people say it. I didn't know it was from one thing specifically.
I weep for this generation.
Apollo 13, Kobe.
I've never seen that movie.
You've never heard of it, too, have you?
I knew that was a movie, but I've never seen it.
Can you guys believe that Kobe L. Thiel does not know who Marlon Brando or Al Pacino is?
I'll just be honest. I don't watch a lot of movies.
I don't care, dude. It doesn't matter to me. It means nothing to me. The fact you don't know who those two are. Al Pacino is literally one of the most famous actors ever. You don't know who Robert De Niro is, right?
Well, I mean, I know the name. I just couldn't tell you like a face to it.
Okay. Everybody out there, Get to Little
No,
Caesars.
the moon didn't happen. We didn't land on the moon. For everyone saying it happened in real life, that's fake.
Daniel Hartman says you can't expect that much from a guy without air conditioning. That's tell me about it. Yeah, and there goes the moon. All right, yeah, everybody get out to Little Caesars. Code 1099. Get in there right now. Get in there right now. And you get a classic pepperoni pizza, a cheese pizza, or a cheese pizza, and crazy bread, and a 2-liter soda for $10.99. You could basically feed a small family right there. Check it out. And code LCFREECC. And let's see here. And code LCF, free crazy combo with any pizza purchase. All right. Kobe Altheel is now Kobe Altheel, who has never heard of Al Pacino and doesn't know what Robert De Niro looks like, but he speaks with authority on whether we landed on the moon. Get out of here. All right. On that note, though,
conspiracy theorists. I believe all those conspiracies.
We got a big show tomorrow, though. All these people out there that with Tim Daniel. All of these people out there we're having a good time with. We think that he's AI. We thought that he's AI for the longest time. Everybody at the U of A in the football department believes that Tim Daniel is AI as well. Tim Daniel is supposedly joining us tomorrow, and he said he will have a camera, and it will not be, I am Tim Daniel. Hello, hello, hello. He's not hanging out with Power or anything like that. He is coming on the show. You're excited about this, Kobe Altheel.
Oh, I'm pumped because there are times I'll see him on socials and I'm just like, this is total AI. This is not a real person.
Yeah, no. So we will find out. Tim Daniel, there's a lot riding on this one for Tim Daniel. Yes. So on that one. All right. Very much appreciate you guys all. You are the fantastic. Oh, let's get the super snaps in. Super snaps, baby. Feed us your super snaps. All right. Holy moly, Batman Aristo can shoot. Vegas Falcon 17, $20 super snap. Jeremiah Dibble. Nelson is a great story, but our biggest concern should be back at point guard. If JB gets in foul trouble, then then that's where we should worry. Fair enough. Our guy Tony, $4.99. Here to say Aristotle is a lottery pick and will likely get drafted above Koa. His interview after the game was impressive. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Meisner, the great Meisner. Big Mo, 12-7, 4 blocks and an assist, giving Dennis Walsh about 35 gloves in the process. Yes. All right, now, Udifo. There are very few guards in the country I'd take over Jaden Bradley, an elite ball knower. Yes, yes, yes. We like it. And $4.99 super snap from Udifo. Udifo, by the way, dude, Udifo's got the most amazing hair ever. Like, you got to see this guy in person. He's like a Head and Shoulders model or something. It's great. He says, laying down my seeds on these reeds, an elite seed knower.
We need to get him back on the show.
Yeah, we do need to get Udifo. Hey, Udifo, message me. I need to get you back on the show. Yeah, I need to steal your information.
He's irregular. He's an elite ball knower.
No, he really is. I guess an elite seed knower as well. Okay, now, very much appreciate you guys all. You guys are all the best. None of this happens without any of you. And so again, everybody, everybody, get ready to watch. Well, Kobe, you got a lot of viewing to watch. This is really bad.
I jumped by doing a watch along. I'm like, should I do a watch along on the channel? Like watch along the Godfather series?
No, you really should. I mean, you'll be a better person for it, and you know.
Oh, I was doing, let's say, like a watch along. That way, they can all experience my first watch along with us.
Yeah. I would go. Yeah, exactly, man. It'll be the championship product or a championship package being delivered.
Top tier content.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, though, everybody, you guys are great. Very much appreciate you all. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 10. Tim Daniel supposedly coming on at 10:30. I am Tim Daniel. We shall see. You guys are awesome, though. On that note, though, we will talk to you tomorrow. Everybody, real-time Little Caesars, please. Code TT, or not code TTFN. 1099 bundle or LCFREECC. TTFN. See you tomorrow.